Hello, I am Caleb from Caleb's Balloon Animals, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a rose in a glass jar. It's pretty much as an old school type of balloon trick, I guess we could call it. I actually get requests for this a lot. I'm going to show you today how to do it using 260s. It's easier if you do the main rose inside out of 160s. But I have a couple of crystal magentas that I don't keep in my apron because, well, it's just too... I don't use them for enough different things to keep them around in my apron itself. And I found a few old ones that I have, and I'm going to use those today. Anyways, to begin, I'm going to fill up my Crystal Magenta 260, or 160, or whatever color you want. It doesn't really matter how much. This one we're going to break off the rest of it, so. Alright. Now that was way more than what I needed. Whoops. Sorry about that. Way more than what I needed. Okay. I'm also going to inflate a 260 green. You can use whatever color you want for the stem. I'm going to inflate that just a little bit as well. Alright, that's more like what you need if you're using a pump. That's like one pump. And that's it. And tie it off. Alright, so everybody does this a bit differently. I like to start off with my, I guess it's magenta. No, I don't start off with the green. I'm going to do it differently because this is a bit easier. This is how I actually learned it. Alright, so I'm going to make 3 small, okay, that's like a ½ inch ear twist. I'm going to make 3 of those. Make sure that they're all the same size. Alright. Arrange them so they're kind of flat like that. And I'm going to attach the magenta, which I don't need all this nozzle. That'll show up. So we just want just the knot. Grab it by that. And rotate it on in. Get it in there really good. Now that's nice and very secure. It's not going to come undone. So I'm going to twist a small, alright, really thin, make sure you get it really nice and thin. I guess it's almost a 2-finger bubble. Now I'm going to twist 1 ear twist, same size as the petals below the leaves. Alright. Now there's 2 ways you can make this. You can either do 3 bubbles down here, or you can just do a single bubble that's a little bit bigger around, and then 3 ear twists at the top. I think I'm going to go that method. So to do that, hold on, okay. To do that, I'm going to take a regular sized balloon and twist about a 2-finger bubble. Then I'm going to make 3 ½ inch ear twists. Alright, so we end up looking something like this. Alright, break off this crystal magenta. Alright. We don't really need to tie this around, but you don't need to tie it off, but make sure you really wrap it around good. And then just give this group of 3 a couple twists to make sure that they're nice and secure. Arrange everything so it looks nice. Then we're going to make a small hole in the green balloon. Use scissors or whatever you want. Alright. Stretch this out because that kind of gets fat there. Stretch that a couple times so it makes it the same width all the way around. And then Just the tiniest puff of air. All it's going to do is going to make it stand up inside the glass jar. Tie it off, then break off this knot. Or below the knot, rather, so we keep it like this. So that now we have this rose, which is kind of limp. But that's okay. Alright, so that's the rose. It's going to go inside of a glass jar. That glass jar is actually a clear 350 or 360, depending on which brand you prefer. So there's lots of ways to reverse inflate balloons. It's kind of the old school method, which nobody likes anymore, where you take the balloon and suck on it to get that little bubble, and then alright, people don't like that method because that does put a balloon directly in your mouth. That's kind of unpopular among parents, so we don't do it that way. The other way, or another way, is make a small bubble, tie the balloon off, move the bubble down to the end of the balloon. Come on. It's not moving. There we go. And then you can break this off and finish inflating it. Or if you use a pump, that's a bit easier to get a pump to reinflate a broken balloon. I don't really like either of those methods. I find them both to be a bit slow and inefficient. My method is to take the balloon, hold it in both hands like this, so there's not a spot for the air to inflate except for this very end. Then I just blow it up. Now it doesn't technically reverse from the end, it reverses from where my hands end up holding it. But what that does is it inflates just the very end of the balloon, which was my goal in the first place. So then I tie it off. Now you're wondering, unless you're a balloon guy and already know the trick, in which case there's no need for you to watch the video. The reason I do that is because I want this soft end with no knot to be at the end. If I did it with the knot end, you would see the knot at the end of the finished product. And I don't want that. So, no further ado, the stuffing. So I'm going to take this rose, which has to be more narrow around than the balloon. See how it's smaller? If it's bigger than the balloon, you cannot stuff it. So if you make a regular size 350 rose, or 260 rose, it's going to be too big. So make sure you've got all of these leaves arranged the way you want them. Alright, I want it like this. So I'm going to take it along with 2 fingers, or however I want to do it today, and I'm actually going to stuff it right down inside the balloon. Now, once I've got it in the balloon a ways, I grab a hold of it with my other hand, and then I push it on down more. Sorry. And then I grab it, get these fingers out, and then I just keep on pushing it down. All the way on down. Alright. So eventually what we get is we get this balloon inside the glass jar with kind of that balloon skin around it, and then we've got all this extra here. Alright, what we need to do is we need to pop all this extra. And we can't be quiet about it. Alright, what we need is this balloon basically to shatter so that it shoots back this way and is no longer covering this up. And the easiest way to do that is to take a scissors and pop it from this end so that it then shoots up. If you mess this up and it pops too slowly, what you're going to end up with is you're going to end up with a balloon skin around this. And it's not going to be right. But with no further ado, now I've got this all the way down there. And I've got basically the entire balloon. And then I just reinflate it enough. Again, it's easier to reinflate or pop the balloon using a pump. Alright. So now I've basically got my balloon rose inside a glass jar. Get it arranged however I want. Kind of squish it around, make it nice and even. Okay, we don't want it kind of lopsided. Decide how much air and at what point you need to break this off, but once we've got our size we want, which is going to look like this, tie it off. We don't need all this tail, so we're going to break it off. Right, I left enough so that I could attach it to a base if I wanted, but typically I just hand this off like that. It's a balloon inside it's a balloon rose inside a glass jar. You can do the same trick with about anything. You can stuff anything you want into balloons. And what I do a lot of birthday parties is I stuff my marker into 260s. Actually, all my markers into 260s. And then I stick them in my balloon pocket on the side. And then when I walk in there, I say I can't draw on any balloons until somebody pops the balloons and get them out. And then I hand it to the kids and I let them try to figure out how to pop it. And usually I make simple things with no Sharpie art, or Expo art rather, because they can't get it to pop. Because 260s, when they're slightly underinflated, are quite difficult to pop. So that's a way that you can have the kids having fun, and you can get by without Sharpie art, and get a few more balloons done more efficiently at the beginning of the party. But basically, balloon rose. Okay, everybody does this a bit differently. That's how I do it. The stuffing technique, I would love to give credit to where I learned it from, but I really don't know where I first saw it at. And everybody does it. The balloon rose is actually, that's my rose design. If somebody else does it, we came up with it separately, because that is definitely mine. I'm the only one that I've seen. Somebody makes a video, make me aware of it, I'll watch it. But I think I'm the only one that I've seen that makes the 260 rose like that. Alright, but I'm Caleb from Caleb's Balloon Animals. If you want to have a base on it, I guess, to be proper, I should show you how to have a base. So I'm going to make a base out of a robin's egg blue. Right, to make a base, I'm just going to inflate the balloon just enough. It doesn't really matter. However much you want to have for your base. My base is basically a 3-petal flower, I'm going to call it. Alright, so I take a fold. I always lock that first one in place. And fold it again. Another loop twist. Another loop twist. And yet another loop twist. Break a hole. I'm going to take this end here. Wrap that on and around. I do that so then it makes a bracelet. Just take this. Wrap it on in. Find your bracelet band. And you've now made it a bracelet. Okay, this is a popular bracelet design actually. I do this a lot. You know, you do whatever you want with your balloons. I've got some mess on the floor back there, but I don't care. Alright, so I'm Caleb from Caleb's Balloon Animal. I am posting at least one of these videos every week with the exception of last week because it didn't post on Saturday. It ended up not posting till Sunday, but whatever. So, again, I'm going to give you guys this invitation. Comment any videos you want me to make, okay? I can twist pretty much anything. If I can't twist it, I'll come up with a design and then show you how I figure out how to make something. Alright? Peace.